Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are here into the last game of Week 2, Day 1. Forgo Jester and Kevin Naki bringing you next up, the Snowflake up against the Resurgence. Yes, it is Team Idra, ladies and gentlemen, coming into the scene. Before we get into that, quality control and mouse sports, final thoughts there, Mr. Kevin. It was a very quality game and a very controlling game, I feel, from quality control.
Yeah, pretty much. That sums it up. I mean, there's not much to write home about. It was totally normal team comps for the two teams. It was just safe, standard, take objectives, slow push, set up for ganks, nothing fancy, no crazy ETC Zagara backdoor, no Illidan, none of that. Just honestly, quality control showing that they were a better team right then. And I think that's what we saw for about 20 minutes. They were just a better team the entire game.
It didn't really feel like that they were ever slipping from that lead. They just kept building and building and building. But yeah, I mean, at one point they did throw down a whole bunch of ults, did not get anything for it, but then they just were able to recover it pretty smoothly. So
yeah, absolutely.
Big grats to them. Quality control puts another point on the board. Coming up though, Snowflake and Resurgence. How did they do last week?
Snowflake is 1-0. Resurgence is 0-1 right now. Last week from Snowflake, we saw, again, a pretty normal team composition. They banned Tychus, and they took Tyrael, Tassadar, Brightwing, Arthas, and Raynor. So the only interesting pick in there would have been, Raynor among some of the other assassins that they could have picked, but otherwise played a very good game. The coolest part about what Snowflake did, though, was that even though their objective control was good, their team fight was better. And they won the last week purely off of team fight ability. So I would expect a very team fight focused comp from them if they're going to go with the same strategy. Resurgence, on the other hand, went with another fairly normal team comp with the exception of Nazeebo as their last pick because there was really no one from their opponent's clairvoyant that had anyone that could damage Nazeebo in the back line. But even though they were able to run objective controls very well, they did not team fight. So this is going to be a very interesting match to me because Resurgence showed that they're awesome at objectives, bad at team fighting. Snowflake showed that they're at objectives, but awesome at team fighting. So this is going to be they're not going to match up very well in styles.
Well, we'll have to see whose is going to come out ahead, and let's see who we're going to actually have on the board. Are you ready with the draft, sir?
Let's do it. Let's go ahead and get started here in 3, 2, 1, go.
So if these styles don't match up, and we got first ban, first pick here from Snowflake, you think they're just going to try to play to their own?
I absolutely do. And look at that. Stitches is actually taken out now because what is a perfect hero to stop a successful engagement or a good team fight? Stitches is the one that can disrupt that. It's the one that can pull people out of position. It's kind of a big game changer in that regard. So I'm fine with Stitches being pulled here. And to me, that just shows that they want a little bit more regularity in team fighting.
Well, we might actually see somebody else in the healing seat because the ban from Resurgence is actually Rhaegar.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So I would imagine that Uther is going to be picked at some point, but we're going to have to dip into those other supports. So we'll probably see Malfurion maybe here at some point, a Brightwing, something like that. Idra going right back to Tassadar, though. He did play this very successfully in last week's matches, so no surprise that we're seeing him here. Tassadar is, of course, a very flexible champ. It grants you vision. You can get shields onto yourself and your teammates. You have a great escape in making yourself invisible and invulnerable. And on top of that, Archon just turns you into a damage monster in team fights.
Yeah, and we've seen that time and time again, especially paired up with that Bloodlust. So no Bloodlust today, but still we do got Idra first picking for his team that task. Now the flip, again, very common pool of heroes that we're all pulling from. Arthas and Tychus.
Does not get more standard than that. Arthas is the best warrior in the game right now. We've seen why over the past few matches today. His any to just stand in fights and sustain himself and soak damage is unparalleled in the game at the moment. Tychus, of course, can deal out basically the most sustained damage of any hero in the game right now. So no surprises here. This is just very standard, safe team comp here.
And standard safe seems to be the name of the game for a lot of matches today. Of course, that Vex game was extremely non-standard, and maybe it'll be a one-shot, maybe not. We're gonna have to recommend you guys to the VODs if you are just tuning in. Check out the Vex gaming comp that they actually had going. Flip side though, for here, Tyrael and the Falstad are gonna be picked up here. So that means I'm actually just looking at Team Snowflake. Who's Chillatek?
Yeah, well, it looks like Chillatek, from the difference from last week, Liquid Chef is not playing here. He was in last week's game with Snowflake. So Chillatek is taking his spot. Now, Chef did play Brightwing, the support, last time. Looks like we just have a Tyrael coming out now. But again, it's just really safe picks here. With Arthas gone and with Stitches already out of the mix, Tyrael to me is always your next pick, and sometimes even above Stitches, just because his lane clear ability is crazy. He and Tassadar are probably the two best lane clear champs in the game right now, and so Team Snowflake is going to have an awesome ability to really aggressively push up lanes and try and roam for ganks early on.
You'd put Tassadar above Witch Doctor?
I think. Well, I mean, but I guess to be fair though, I didn't consider Nazeebo a tier 1
nobody does
player until last week when he started getting used. So I didn't even consider him in like normal team comps. Yeah, I'd say I think you're right. Nazeebo does have better wave clear, but the normal meta going into last week, I would have said that Tassadar and Tyrael were on top.
Yeah, the threat of Ravenous definitely puts in the rankings, but
yeah.
No Ravenous here yet. Caesar Salad and Cliche going to be picking up the Uther Sonya. Has there been a match that Uther and Sonya have not been together?
I don't believe so. I mean, their combo is just so strong. I mean, this is what we're going to see here from Resurgence is kind of that stereotypical super scary wombo combo team fight, because you have Divine Storm and Leap for the initiation, Divine Storm to stun everyone else after that, Arthas to sit on top of everyone for damage, and Odin's just picking away people at the back. So this is going to be a very tough nut to crack. We already have, and I like the pick of Chen here from LZ Gamer and Brightwing on top of that. So it's actually going to be easier for Snowflake to disrupt these big combos and stuff like that than it normally would have with the use of Tyrael, with the use of Brightwing. That's a good counter pick.
I don't know, man. That's a lot of counter stuns on the other side. I mean,
I agree.
The Chen's strength is being able to absorb and draw the stuns. I mean, he's going to do that regardless. But the question is, how the good plays of a Chen is how much longer he's living through team fights, how much you're investing to kill him, and he won't die. Now, on top of everything, he has 2 shields and another shield that can come out from the Brightwing, plus the healing from Brightwing, plus another shield. I mean, if you play it right, he will never die. But at the same time, he also needs to jump in and take a hold of that Tychus.
That is absolutely correct. And since there's so many heals and shields around him, I've got to think that they've got to put some damage on Chen, because think about this. Oh, and that's a great pick, by the way. I'll get to that in just a second. But so if Chen builds damage, they don't have a lot of sustained damage, especially if Falstad is going to go down the Mage Falstad route. They're going to have sustained damage in fights with Archon, but otherwise they're going to need to pick some up from Chen. So I would expect the build to go that way. But Nazeebo is an awesome pick for Resurgence, because look at the stuns, or rather lack thereof, for Snowflake right now. He's going to be able to sit back and Ravenous Spirit all day long.
Judgment. Like, if it is Chillatek on the Tyrael, I'm not saying it is, but the Tyrael has to basically Judgment when the Ravenous happens. I mean, other than that, it's going to be what, a keg? Has to be a keg.
Exactly. Yep, that's it. So.
Yeah. All right, well, it seems like Garden of Terror is a very popular map today, because we're going to be finishing off the stream today with another Garden of Terror. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the last match of week 2, day 1, Snowflake up against Resurgence. You ready to go, sir?
Let's do this. Let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, and for Team Resurgence, here on the left side, we have Cliche, we have Nirok, Caesar Salad, Faux Pas, and Tech. And on the Team Snowflake side, from top to bottom, we have Faye, we have Chillatek, Idra, LZ Gamer, and Keelex. Of course, for you StarCraft fans, the LZ Gamer and Idra names should ring very familiar to you. These guys have been involved in the esports scene for quite a long time.
I don't think there's anybody at this point in Heroes that doesn't know of at least Idra, but LZ Gamer and Chef, Koth and Luck, I mean, Vortex, Lucifron, they're also playing out on the EU side just for fun, not exactly on a team, but there's a lot of interest from the StarCraft community in this game, which is always awesome to see, because the cross-pollination from Blizzard streams is very strong.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. And I did have the good fortune to work on this game for a very long time, and I can say the best is yet to come. Trust me on that one, everyone.
The Kavanaki guarantee.
Kavanaki guarantee, absolutely. And look at that. That's the power of Tassadar right there. So there was a 4-man gank that was set up on Idra in mid. He throws out a little bit of vision, and all of a sudden you can't grab him anymore. So very well done. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something great up against the nature of the stealth as well. But top lane, a little bit of damage going back and forth. Nirak is not nearly going to be dying there, neither will Cliché. But it's interesting how both the roams actually found each other top, and they kind of just hit each other at 2 separate points in the same lane.
Just seeing all these master skins on everyone is making me so happy. I know not everyone has them, but I do love them. The art on them is just fantastic. So looks like another attempt at a gank here in mid lane. But I think that Faux Pas has been a bit too aggressive trying to get out there. Yeah, Idra knows this. He was playing very safe there. Faux Pas, like it's good in MOBAs to get out there like, hey, I'm here. You really want to attack me, don't you? But I think he was selling it a bit too hard there.
All right, so it is obviously not Team Snowflake on the left. It is Resurgence, and Team Snowflake is on the right. Do apologize for that overlay. I'm taking no responsibility for it.
But I didn't even notice it was there, but we'll continue to let you guys know, of course, who's winning this match as we go throughout. So, Idra, very nice job here with the Psystorms to continue to push this back. They've tried to gank him twice, but yet he's the one who has momentum in his lane right now. That's pretty darn good lane mechanics. And the bot lane, Brightwing's getting bullied a bit by Witch Doctor, but that's to be expected just because of the Witch Doctor's pure clear ability.
Yep, and as I said, you would put him above a Tassadar because I can test that.
Yeah, it's close, man. Though I say even without that, Psystorm by itself is just focused perfectly on minion waves in this game, though.
I don't have a blank overlay to put up, but I'm just trying to get word from the admin to either leave it up or not. I've just turned it off for now. But either way, I mean, you already see the Merc camps coming out from at least Snowflake side. And woo, that's actually going to be Keelax is going to get caught in the bottom. A little bit of frost there from the Arthas, but overall, not nearly enough to get a kill.
No, and definitely Snowflake has done a better job here at the beginning. They've taken their Knights. They're about to take their Siege Giants as well to just the Siege Giants from the other team. So Idra already had momentum going in this lane, and he's not going to lose that much turret ammo here because he killed those minions up at front very quickly. So he's holding back very well. Top lane has kind of been a draw so far. Uther's just been roaming back and forth, but hasn't been able to get a lot done. So Falstad's been able to push really effectively, and as you can see, knock out a turret and almost all the ammo from another one.
Yeah, we're just going to leave the overlay off for this one, ladies and gents. So sorry, but Team Right is Snowflake, and if you ever have to wonder, Idra is Snowflake.
Yes, that is correct. So LZ Gamer just setting up in the bot lane here. Of course, the one thing that you can do to Nazebo is gank them. They don't exactly have a lot in the way of escapes. Quite a bit of damage being applied. Psystorm comes in from Idra too. A little bit of damage needs to be done left. Flying kick over the wall. Is he going to be able to regen up in time? It looks like, yeah, and he gets his flying kick right back over the side. That is Chen for you.
And as I said, shields and shields and shields. Not only is he going to get his own, Brightwing likely has protective. Idra has his own as well to add to that. And then, you just brew it up. So fun times that you can do with Chen if you can't stun him out of it. So they are going to take their first kill into that bot, but this top lane is going the way of Resurgence so far.
Yes, it is. And Resurgence, as much as I said at the beginning of this, I was a bit one-dimensional in my analysis at the beginning, saying that they weren't as great at team fights, and Snowflake was. I mean, Resurgence still had a really, really solid, very narrow loss in week 1, where they showed some good team fighting skill. They're going to need to show it here, though, as LC Gamer is taking quite a bit of damage. He runs away. Will they be able to catch up to him? They do. Nirak snags that last kill there. Very good Arthas play. Get out in front and continue those stuns. So a nice little equalization there, and Resurgence takes a kill. Well done. Good positioning.
Yeah, Chillatech up top was able to eventually whittle down those giants, so the threat has passed there. We do, of course, have these Knights that did get capped just before that fight, and the Knights just came straight here into the bottom base. That tower, not only out of ammo, basically dead in the water. It's low-hanging fruit at this point, and the rest of the teams are going to engage in this bottom lane.
Yeah, so Falstad here has to back out. Keelax is trapped inside of the zombie wall, taking quite a bit of damage. Does she have enough healing? Doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Brightwing falls. Here comes Tassadar now to try and re-engage. Uther should be able to walk away if he has another heal, and does. Good stun from Nirek there. Arthas holding Tassadar in his place there for a little while. Good job.
Sunglasses and walks away. But LC Gamer, he's back on the board. He's actually visiting Faux Pas here as they're trying to trade a little bit of hit points. Chillatech is now going to be roaming down. Cliché, I think, actually knows that he has made his way out of the lane, so she will be following suit. We don't really have any creeps down here, but we do have this Garden Tear, and the seeds right now are sitting in favor of Snowflake, 45-15.
Yep, that's right. So they'll start working here on this Terror with 4 members. This is actually going to go down pretty quickly. And level 10 talents came up at about the same time. Oh, and here goes Chillitek directly into the fight. They are going to disengage for a second. Ravenous Spirit comes out, and that may disperse the rest of the team. Brightwing and Falstad were thinking about going for the Witch Doctor, but instead, they've taken a huge amount of damage. Finally, Judgment is used on top of Witch Doctor, but not before all the damage was done. Chen does use his ultimate, tries to jump back in and get a bit more damage done, but unfortunately, with Nazeebo sitting there and his Ravenous Spirit being used the entire fight, they just weren't able to get the damage in that they needed to. They weren't able to stand in the fight, and Snowflake loses 3-0.
Yeah, maybe a bit more. LZ Gamer is under some heavy fire as the rest of the team looking to put him into the ground, but it's not going to be enough. Helax does come in as well, and a little bit of healing is going to be just enough to keep him out. But still, 3-0, not exactly the trade Snowflake was looking for. And as you said, both 10s came up basically at the same time. It almost felt like a scramble just to hit the button, get the ult, and just spend it out, because Chillitek was so late to that judgment.
Yeah, Chillitek was so late to that judgment. You're absolutely right. I mean, but Nazeebo did a great job of sitting in the bush, made sure that he wasn't going to be detected very easily, and you can see the damage numbers show he has 8,700 damage right now, second only to Faye, actually, from Snowflake, who's rocking 12,000 at the moment.
And the party keeps going. The fat lady hasn't sung. Chillitek does have that Garden Tear, and the seeds did go overwhelmingly in the way of Snowflake. And now, we're not seeing that split pushing mentality that we had from Quality Control last game, where you had 4 in one lane, Garden in another. No, this is Snowflake 100% behind this push with Chillitek.
That's right, so Chillitek throws down his plants. They're working at these front few towers here. Is Nira going to engage? He's really positioning towards the front and just trying to make Snowflake afraid, but Snowflake has no fear right now. They know they have the tankiness with Chillitek in the Garden Terror. They're just going to continue slow pushing these and trying to take whatever advantages they can find. They don't have to get a fort right now. They just have to bully them around and open up the map. As we can see, their lanes are pushing.
I like how the timers are just infinite. 888, 888.
I know. Yay, replays.
Yeah, Chillitek, however, he is, really using everything that he can, including that health point bar. I mean, he is just really low on it, and they are going to have to back on off. But they got the gate, and they've kept a lot of pressure here on top of Resurgence. And, yeah, there we go. It's finally going to, blow up. Chillitek is going to be the target, but he does have that sword and goes right behind the gate. Easy peasy. Great escape mechanism out of the Tyria, and we've seen that time and again. That's part of the reason why he's picked out.
Absolutely, nice Ice Storm from Midra there too to get some damage in and push the rest, of Resurgence away. Resurgence is going to recollapse here on the Knights towards the top lane, but it looks like Snowflake's already privy to this. Idra throws down his Ice Storm right away. Chen trying to jump in from the side, flying kicks in. Can he get on top of the platform? Whoa. He can. He's actually prevented them from grabbing the Knights. Falstad with a huge ult from the side. Very well done, and as we can see, Resurgence is just melting. The Wombo combo works out perfectly. Look at the positioning from Idra this entire fight. He is sat just out of the range with his Archon mode enabled and put on incredible damage. The positioning there from Team Snowflake was awesome.
And they are rewarded for it. 5 kills for nothing. They're going to be able to clean up the Knights. Sure, they didn't get, they didn't have their cake and could eat it too, but they did get a sizable lead out of that. They're now 14-13. They've cleaned up the Knights. They've taken down the front gate. They're going to get themselves a fort on the back of this one as well. And during all this, bottom lane, look at those Giants starting to lay into this bot lane as well. If nobody's going to come down to that, it could actually be a 2-fort lead coming the way of Idra and crew.
Yep, that's absolutely right. And looks like Resurgence is going to take this time. They know that fort is gone. They're not even going to contest it, of course. They go after these Siege Giants. They grab those right now. All the while, I guess the only thing that is going for Resurgence is that they did clear up those Knights, and they did actually grab them, so the objective control is not great here for Snowflake. After winning a big fight, besides taking down the fort, they don't have a lot to do on the map, so Resurgence can take their time, push out with Knights, try and reestablish map control, and get a good pickoff.
Well, we're going to have to see what kind of pickoff we are going to get, because Knights have been, basically all the creeps are now been taking, all the mercs. Level 15, 13, now 14 here for Resurgence. So, the level lead is still there for Snowflake. They are still technically leading, but it's not as big as you might actually think after that 5-0 wipe. And I got to say, it's a lot of that is because of the way that the experience system works here in Heroes.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so Knight has sprung once again. It looks like Snowflake is immediately going to move in to contest this. They're setting up to go after these Knights down here at the bottom, but they'll also be able to position very easily on this bottom Garden Terror. They're already at 66 to 31 seeds right now. It's actually going up as Chen continues to farm, so they'll have another Garden Terror here momentarily.
79 seeds is not that hard to complete, but I don't think Resurgence is going to let them have it without a fight. They are all here. It's going to be a 5-on-5 bloodbath. They do start it out, and Chillitek just kind of wanders in. So, oh, hey, guys. We got the Oracle actually now going out as well. I think they're from Idra, and everybody knows where everybody else is. And is it going to be a fight, or are we just going to keep dancing around this golem?
You know, honestly, with the way Snowflake's playing, I think they can bully them out of this golem. Although, look at that cliche going to pick up all the seeds that are dropped by the golem so far, so that's pretty nice. There we go. LZ Gamer jumps in with Chen, throws in his throws in his kick. Doesn't get that much damage done, but it doesn't look like the Resurgence wants to engage on this. Oh, now finally, Nirek has to watch out. Has to pop his Army of the Dead. LZ Gamer uses his ult as well. Idra once again popping his Archon, sits in the back, trying to do whatever damage he can. Faye finally comes in with his ult as well. Falstad applies a lot of damage. No one has actually fallen in this fight so far. Brightwing has done an excellent job of surviving. Of course, as soon as I say that, manages to die. But Brightwing, well done there, continuing to jump around and heal up teammates throughout the fight. Tech is not taking that much damage. Chen will finally die here in the middle, and believe it or not, a good win there from Resurgence.
I'm really going to have to play around with my visual settings for next week, but 2-0 for the team fight, going the way of Resurgence. A very different outcome than the 5-0 we saw last time from Idra and crew on Snowflake, but Resurgence coming out pretty much, yeah, they got to be really happy with that outcome because they're going to come out ahead. They got this map pressure, which they're now using to trying to get their own plant terror, and right now we do actually have the red side going to be growing there, so time is limited. If they can actually get this, we might have dual terrors on the map, but they got 3 seconds to kind of figure it out.
Yeah, it is possible, and it doesn't look like okay, there we go. Idra's finally coming back for the Garden Terror right now, so never mind. Tyrael's going to grab it. Chillitek will have it once again. So Snowflake's going to push out here through the middle of the map. Yes, it could be Garden Terror versus Garden Terror, but once again, due to the level advantage and the fact that it's already on the map, seems Snowflake should be able to start pushing their objectives quicker than their opponents right now. They're actually going to take time and just go after this Garden Terror.
Well, they know that somebody is going to have to go back to base to get them from Resurgence, and it is going to be Arthas. So Arthas on Nirek there is going to be in one terror, and Tyrael is going to be on the other. So the tanks are going to be out of it, but they're kind of bigger, uglier, and scarier now.
Yeah, they are. And lot more hit points to go around too. So this is always amusing to me when the Garden Terrors start punching each other. It's just useless. Why is this happening right now? The funniest part, actually, more than that, is when a Garden Terror gets turned into a tiny plant like that.
Yeah. The magic of the Nexus. There we go. So a little bit of a slugfest going to be going down here, but Chillitek and crew. The good news is that they are actually semi-sieging up against Resurgence. So Resurgence on the back foot, but Resurgence will have their terror longer if it does come down to timers. So they're going to be actually able to push out a little bit, knowing that they're still going to have that advantage as long as it doesn't die.
Idra's Psystorms have absolutely been on point this entire game. Whether it's just to clean up minions or put on a bit of additional damage, I've got to hand it to him. I'm unfortunately getting tagged by the turn into a flower polymorph thing a couple of times, but he's been on point at least with his Psystorms. All right, so Chillitek's going to re-engage here, but really this is just a slap fest. Until these tanks wear each other down and their ultimates pop back up, we're not really going to see a huge, large-scale engagement.
Well, Nirek actually lost it, so the advantage with the timer is going to be null and void. Chillitek now also comes out of his. Those flower pots really did a big number on that mid fort because it is not looking so healthy, but overall, not really much was accomplished from either side. I mean, yeah, they slapped themselves around a little bit, and now it looks like it's going to be a race to the Mercs, so that sounds like a good time to put up the talent tree. Yeah, I'm going to go with the talent tree.
Yeah, that sounds good. Let me see if there's anything super out of the ordinary here. Nothing's crazy. This is a very... I mean, we've got a healing ward, but other than that, it's all Psystorm damage for Idra right now.
Yeah, well, that's not really too much of a surprise, but what is surprising is that LZ Gamer actually kicked his way into this comp. Faux down is actually going to get singled out from his team, and Laser's going to come down. Him and LZ Gamer, or Faye and LZ Gamer, are actually going to take down Odin. He does not get anything off in this fight. Idra's going to be an Archon there in the back. The Divine Storm going off, just trying to buy some time here for Resurgence, but this is not going to be a fight going their way. Chillatek trying to get in front of Caesar Sal is not going to work. Instead, he will settle for the kill on top of Arthas. And now this could actually be a really big fight because that's going to it for Chillatek. The Spirit comes out, but
oh, yeah, really well done. So there was no focus there from Resurgence whatsoever, but the Ravenous Spirit is enough to kill Falstad. Well done. So at least there's some consolation prize. But there was just no focus in that fight from Resurgence at all. Idra was able to sit at the back in Archon form and use all of his damage. He was not stopped at any given point in time. And as a result of that, now up to 27,000 damage. Gained about 5,000 of that in that last fight. So with Archon constantly going and everyone just kind of distributing damage to Chen and Tassadar sometimes, and maybe a little bit to Tyrael. Nothing was ever picked, and Snowflake wins that fight really handily.
4 for 1. I mean, sure, the Ravenous Spirit at the end of it, because I'm just tripping over that name for some reason. Sure, gets them to kill, but 4-1, and now they've lost all this map control. Like right now, Resurgence very much stuck on their side of the map. All the creeps and all the mercs are going the way here of Snowflake, and that is a very powerful thing because Snowflake is very close to 20 at this point. If they can get 20 and they got mercs pushing in a lane, you can almost guarantee that we're looking for an ending.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you. And Falstad, with his bribe stacks, is going to go to the bot lane here and grab those Siege Giants. There were actually two, Falstad and Brightwing actually took bribes. So the objective control for Team Snowflake has been pretty crazy this entire game.
Yeah, it's very similar to quality control. I mean, a lot of the map and the various objectives on it have been very much under control of Snowflake and crew. And sure, yeah, it was a little bit rocky there in the mid. They did lose out that team fight, but they came back in spectacular fashion with that last one. One more fight like that could seal the deal. I mean, if we got 4 people dead here from Resurgence, and we got all these lanes pushing in, like that is going to be some heavy damage, if not the game.
Yep, that's absolutely right. Looks like both teams may end up having a tear here. How many seeds are they going to get? No, they're a little bit short, unfortunately. 95 seeds to a full 100 there. So really unfortunate for Resurgence. If they had another Garden Tear, they might have found a way to be able to fight back into this. But as it stands, they're going to have a monster like 7k HP Garden Terror that's running down mid here soon.
So again, Chillatek is going to be the one that does take it. Now, fun times, as Brightwing, if you stay near the Terror, I do believe the heal actually does go off. Healing
I
Ward,
believe so as well.
Also works on it as well. You can't shield it though, I'm pretty sure.
I would have to double check, but I believe you're correct about all of that. Yes.
Either Idra can or cannot shield it, but either way, putting Chillatek on it, even if he gets into a sticky situation and he blows up, it's Tyrael. I mean, yeah, not going to melt under any kind of pressure, so it's a really good pick, and he's actually been every Garden Terror so far.
In fact, as soon as he dies, he's just going to pop out into a Judgment, no less. So as soon as he dies, expect one of your squishiest members to be stunned up for a few seconds.
Well, Falstad's going to join the party here, flying up from that bottom lane. We do have Knights in the top. We got Chillatek in the crew here in the mid. 5-man defense from Resurgence, so that's going to be some damage up top. And this Flower Pot is just making its way down, but Arthas goes down.
Yeah, and Arthas does go down there, so here comes the rest of the fight as it's happening. Very nice job once again by Idra to zone out both Tychus and Sonya from the top of the fight for a decent period of time. That allows the rest of Snowflake to start making their way through. They kill the keep. They're going after this fort right now, and they may even just try a push right here on the core.
Yeah, you can see the Ravenous going up. I mean, it's a very safe position there for the Witch Doctor. Yep. Chillatek not really looking so healthy, but he is encompassed with that flesh. LZ Gamer is just soaking the damage. He's going to split into the 3 pandas, and now Chillatek going back again. The core does have some permanent damage on top of it. Tech, however, is going to get, well, ice blocked. Okay, I could have been a lot worse for him, but the ice block does save his bacon. Chillatek's now going to be out of that Garden Terror. Could they actually be going right back around? LZ Gamer's in there again, just soaking up all that damage. Sonya is going to drop here to the Team Idra and crew. The Snowflakes are coming out strong, but does look like they are going to just go their merry way.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good opening to the fight for Resurgence. Really good, actually. They completely pushed him back off the core. Idra died immediately. They were focusing targets, but they just didn't have the follow-up power that was necessary. And with level 20 already in the bag for Team Snowflake, they were carrying so much more power into that fight as well. So the longer it went on, the better the Team Snowflake's opportunity was. And they showed it at the end there. They turned right back around. False dead damage was enough, and they ended up winning the fight.
I was going to say, I hope the replay didn't lag out. I always saw was Snowflakes just kind of sitting there down at these Knights. But they're going to go for this ambush. Yeah, Caesar Salad has to get behind that wall. He is going to get off that Divine Storm, but Full Paw is actually going to be the target. And absolutely murdered in this bottom lane. 60 seconds without your main DPS. That is not looking good for Resurgence.
Easy game. They've got this. It's no problem. Oh, wait, 2 lanes are already pushing, and they're going to grab more Merc camps. Maybe not. Maybe not then. So Snowflake is in a pretty dominating position right now. Even though Resurgence should be able to hit level 20 relatively soon, I don't know if it's going to come quick enough to be able to impact this fight for one. Oh, wow, and as immediately they jump right on top. Falstad actually only hit Arthas there because of the Ice Block on top of Tech, but Judgment follows that up right away. Nazebo falls. Cliché is going to fall at the same time. Just Arthas and Uther left over. Arthas falls. Uther's the only one remaining, and he's not enough to hold back a 5-man on a core.
No, not at all. Everyone's going to be dead in the water here. Level 21 to 19. Those Storm tier talents coming out strong here for Snowflake as they are going to cement this win in the Garden of Terror. I think, what, three maps of ours tonight were Garden of Terror. 3 out of 5. Not too shabby. No Blackheart's Bay, unfortunately, today. No Dragonshire. That's a little unfortunate. Why is Falstead way up in my face? Wow, look at that.
That's awesome is what it is.
Yep. He's posing. He's posing real good for that one. But overall, a really good time for Idra and crew. Sorry about the overlays, guys. And I have no idea why it's such a bright light show. I'm definitely going to have to fix that up for you next time I do hop onto the mic. So you have my sincere apologies. And hopefully the sunglasses were able to help you deal with it. We have now done 5 matches today, week 2, day 1. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourselves. We're going to come back after a quick break with the last words and let you know what's going on tomorrow. So, without further ado, do not go anywhere, and we will see you in a moment.